Welcome back, Era Elite Glam fam. It is your girl, Black Girl Leisha, and we are here for yet another Tipsy Talk. Now, if you watched my latest video, you know that I am on blood thinners, so I really can't be drinking like that. So I literally put a little bit of champagne, and when I say a little bit, I do mean a little bit, in my champagne glass with some orange juice and this Organics Red Bull in ginger ale. This stuff is the truth. It is made from natural ingredients and it's caffeine free. So it's basically like carbonated water and sugar, natural flavors. It's bomb. So you can get these at Target. You can get them at what is that place? Not Whole Foods, Natural Grocers. And also you can get them from, I will put it on the screen because my thought process is gone right now. All right, guys, welcome back to yet another video. Today we are gonna get a little deep. So if you good with deep, then keep watching. If not, if topics on racism and privilege and things like that upset you, then it's best that you exit off of this video now, because these are my beliefs alone, my perspective, and I won't apologize for how I feel. So with that being said, before we get into the video again, another shameless promo. I do have one of my good friends. She came out with a candle. This one is, her company is called Spark Up Candles. Okay. The scent that I'm burning today is Relief. And you will tell by some of the names of the candles that it is basically a CBD oil based candle. I will definitely put the link to her shop in the description box below. But if you love candles, this not only serves as a candle that can put aromas throughout your home and keep it smelling fresh and amazing, but also it serves as a body oil. So it is not hot to the touch when you pour it. Literally, it's like an oil. I'm gonna see if I have enough. Yes, I do. So I'm gonna come in close for you guys. So you see that in there? I'm gonna pour a little bit in my hand. Look at that. Put that down for a second. Look at that. Yes, honey. Oh my God, and it smells so freaking good. I think this one has like eucalyptus and peppermint. Oh, smells so freaking good. So you can definitely rub this on your body. This would be a great scent. Great gift, first and foremost. So if you want to get somebody something special for their birthday, Father's Day is coming up. You can get your man, your father, your brother candles like this, and it's not even technically girly, because there's a lot of amazing scents that are not necessarily girly, and again, they're all based off of a CBD or THC sourced names like Relief, Spark Up Candles. You can see the little metaphors there. So go check them out. And again, the link will be in the description box below. But without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so as some of you have probably already seen, all over social media, all over the news, the amount of protests and riots that are occurring throughout the country. And it is in the wake of George Floyd's death, a gentleman over in Minneapolis whom police were called out for in reference to a counterfeit bill being presented at the time of purchase. I myself have not brought myself to watch the video just because this is not the first time we've seen something like this. I believe there was another gentleman, I don't believe it was Eric Gardner. If I'm getting that wrong, I will put the correct name in the on the screen here. But there was another gentleman, there was a very similar situation where a police officer was on top of him and was cutting off his oxygen supply, and that gentleman ended up passing away as well. It's sort of like a reoccurring nightmare, if you will, that is constantly being splashed all over our phones and TV screens. And it's sickening. It's sickening, it's upsetting. And I don't believe tired begins to describe the level of frustration, the level of dehumanization that is occurring in this country. The problem is that the justice system was never built to protect people of brown skin. The justice system, in most part, was put in place before slavery even ended. It was a systematic way to continue to oppress and enslave people of color in the name of justice. You tell me how presenting a counterfeit bill equates to an officer kneeling with his weight onto a gentleman's neck and taking his life. That the crime does not match the punishment. And that is often what we continue to see throughout our judicial system. The crime not fitting the punishment, whether it being men being torn from their families for drugs, let's just say marijuana, serving ridiculous sentences, 15 years, 25 years in prison, away from their families, away from their children, away from their wives. And we now live in a world where it's, in some parts of the country, it's legal. In some parts of the world, it's legal. The crime does not match the punishment. And that is where we begin to have the problem. It does not upset me when people protest. We have the right to protest. That is within the amendment of our freedom of speech is the right to protest, the right to express how one feels. And with all that is happening in this world, I feel like, in reference to officers, more specifically, they are being let off scot-free. They are being given smacks on the hand. They are getting suspended from work with pay. They are being taken maybe off the streets only to go sit behind a desk and still get paid their regular salary, their lives not missing a beat, whereas other people's lives have now changed forever. Preparing funerals, having to go out and identify the body of their family member who will not be able to make it home anymore. Tired does not begin to express what we are. Black Lives Matter was not created to say that all lives do not matter. Black Lives Matter was created to shine light and speak for those of brown skin who seemingly have had their voices taken away for far too long. We are saying that our lives matter too. Just like your life matters, my life matters. That's simple. We are saying that no longer should these people in power continue to not reap the consequences of their actions. The gentleman, AHMAUD ARBERY, I hope I am not butchering his name, was murdered just while he was taking his day-to-day run throughout his neighborhood. A car following him, seemingly almost like it was, you know what, I'm not going to make any assumptions in this video. I'm just going to give facts of what we already know, which is, in the video it shows this gentleman running down the street, jogging, clearly exercising, and as the video moves forward and he's running and the car behind him is following, recording, you then see a truck come into view with two gentlemen who are white and begin to shoot at the gentleman who's running, who has done nothing but exercise. Running while black, that's a thing now. That's a thing that somebody's life deserves to get taken away from. We really have to begin to put these sorts of things in context. Because if people continue to not recognize their privilege, then you can never truly even ask the question of, how do I become a part of the solution? Because you are choosing to continue to be a part of the problem. Acknowledge your privilege and do something about it. Stop with the all lives matter, our lives matter. Blue lives matter. No one is saying that law enforcement lives do not matter. We are saying that it is not uncommon for African American men and women to be constantly ridiculed, sought out, and facing the ultimate consequence, the ultimate fate of death. The crime is not fitting the punishment. Trayvon Martin was just walking home when a man who wanted to enforce his citizen right to go out and approach this young man after being told not to, then being let off scot-free on those charges. That is a part of the problem. This judicial system continues to fail us. And back to my point on protesting. You have every right to protest. You have every right to have your voice heard. That is your right. When people begin to riot, to loot and destroy small businesses where people have put their life savings, their all into these businesses, in what is already a crisis, in the middle of a pandemic where people's small businesses have been suffering for months with having their doors closed. Some not being able to have the means to transfer everything over to a more technological side of things, to do online ordering. You have now given them yet another burden. You have taken away from them what they've earned. And who is that truly fair to? And how is that speaking for those who have lost their lives? If you want to protest, if you want to riot, find a way to do so where you are not hurting others or endangering others' livelihoods, because you would not want someone to put your livelihood at risk. So don't go putting someone else's at risk. We are all mad. We are all furious. We are all hurting. But if we don't know how to center that, to put that into something positive, to make a real change, then everything will continue to be the same. More people of brown skin will continue to get arrested, wrongfully hurt or killed. More people will continue to have their businesses, especially Black-owned small businesses, foreclosed on, having to close their doors indefinitely, possibly forever, because of someone's inability to put their anger in a place where it is not harmful to others. Let's speak on a couple ways where how you can do that. Number one, you could hit them where it hurts, economically, in their pocket. These big businesses, these massive corporations are run on the dollars that are coming out of your pocket. What did you do with your stimulus money? Did you invest in yourself? Maybe a business idea that you've been thinking about? Or did you go and put that back into the economy by getting your hair done, your nails done, going to Target, going to Walmart, going to all of these massive corporations and spending your dollar, rather than going to these small businesses and giving them your dollars? Because those are the ones who truly deserve it. I will make sure I put up on the screen the amount of money per day that the United States makes off of brown-skinned people. And if we all decided to not put our money into these massive corporations in a day, how much money they would lose. That is getting somebody's attention. Because as we see, a pandemic wasn't enough to shut the country, the pandemic was not enough to shut the country down for 2.5 months to then reopen back to where I live in Las Vegas, where casinos are going to be opening June 4th. Because they rely on your dollar to keep the economy going around. It's all a circle. And without you, the consumer, their products cannot be in demand. They cannot make money if you are not there to spend it. Why are we not organizing to open more small local grocery stores, thrift markets, farmers markets, clothing stores? Why are we not starting pages, websites where people can access and have access to small-owned, Black-owned businesses within their area? So that you can now give your money to them rather than these major corporations who are making trillions of dollars off of you, the consumer, and not doing anything for you nor your family. Number 2, what is this year? 2020, election year. Get them in the polls. People are so often so concerned about who the president is going to be. Well, who are you voting for? Are you going to vote for Joe Biden? Are you going to vote for Trump? What are you going to do? I'm not worried about who the president is, because if you know anything about the electoral system, anything about government, you would know that this country is ran by the Senate and the state. And before the president can pass a law, it must be run through the House and the Senate. Without that happening, a bill cannot be passed. Why are we not looking at who those people are sitting in those seats? Why in mid-elections, why do we wait for the main elections to come and get so hyped up on who the president's going to be? Why are we not looking during those midterm elections, voting these people in the House, in the Congress, in the Senate? Because I feel like more people who look like me, who know my struggle, should be sitting in those seats. What does their background look like? What does their rap sheet look like? Who are they standing up for? What have they done for the communities? What type of outreach programs have they started? What type of education laws have been passed? What about the district attorneys, the judges who are passing these, who are giving out these sentences to these officers and letting them off scot-free. Some of them not even making it to trial. What does their rap sheet look like? How many brown-skinned people have they sent to jail on life sentences? Death penalty. How many officers have they given sentences to for taking the lives of brown-skinned people? What does their rap sheet look like? Because those are the people that we should be worrying about. These prosecutors. Are they actually presenting a case? Are they bringing factual evidence into the courtroom? Are they dotting their T's and crossing their T's and dotting their I's? We need to be holding each and everybody accountable. Because what we don't have time for anymore is complacence. If you can look around and see nothing wrong with our institution within the United States as a whole, you too are a part of the problem. I am not saying that all law enforcement officers are evil or racist. That is the furthest thing from what I'm saying. I'm saying that the institution, the groundwork, the foundation that these corporations and governments, that these systems were built on, were not built to protect and serve for brown-skinned people. That cannot change if we are not forcing our mayors and governors and elected officials to look into these systems and make changes. Enforce stricter laws, more than a body cam, because that can be turned on and off. I really just wanted to come on here and I wanted to shed some light, because for so long in history books and in classrooms, we kind of are taught as a community of color to, a level of learned helplessness, to believe that we are products of our environment, to believe that we can't be happy, to believe that we can't be successful, to believe that we need someone to give us a handout, rather than building it ourselves. Because sometimes what that looks like and what that requires is just too much than we're willing to give. And if that's your mentality, I honestly just feel for you. My heart breaks for you. I refuse to be mediocre. I refuse to not challenge my thought process, my views, as well as my perspectives on the world around me, because it is ever changing. There is always new information to be learned. If our history has taught us anything, it is that we are resilient. We are living in a very odd time. Unprecedented doesn't begin to describe what this is. My 90s babies, my millennials, even my, what are they called? Generation X. We have the power. We can be the change we want to see in this world. But it starts right here. It starts right now. And it starts with doing your research. Not believing everything you hear on TV. My great-grandmother used to say, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Because sometimes people love to cut out the bigger picture, to shine light on what they want you to see and not the reality of what it truly is. I know our talks are normally more chill and more lax, but again, I refuse to be silent. I refuse to be complacent. I stand with Eric Gardner, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin. The list is far too long. Just take a look around and really look at your life and your views in context. Challenge others on facts, on research, not just by hearsay. Decide how you want to view the world. You can view the world that this is us as a people, as a human race, standing and banding together as one. Or you can choose to see everyone as your enemy. Choose to believe that you are better than others. Because to truly hate someone else, you must truly have some type of self-hatred for yourself. Hate is learned. We do not innately hate other people. Children do not innately see the color of their skins as that meaning I'm better than you. They judge it by the character of their heart. So I challenge each and every one of you. See something, say something. Protest. You want to protest? Protest against these large corporations. Stop giving them your dollars. I believe T.I. had mentioned something about a blackout day. I will put the exact information on the screen here. But it's on July 7th or 15th, or I'll put all the exact details on the screen for you. But please, if you can, choose to be a part of this day. And it's just a day where we as people of color, and even people of just all races, all cultures, where we can band together and we can choose to not spend our money anywhere for one whole day. That is not something that the United States can ignore. That is not something economically they can afford to ignore. So please be safe, show love, be compassionate, be understanding for others. I love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified the next time I post another video. Until next time, be you, be true, and stay beautiful. I love you guys. Be blessed.